Oh god. That's disgusting. Hello and welcome to the VR Cauldron. I'm Witch, and today we're talking about Onward Quest, more specifically graphics. I know at the moment that everyone's talking about the PC Onward graphics and the way they've received a graphical downgrade so that PC players can have crossplay with the Quest. Well, we're not going to talk about that. There's plenty of people talking about that. Downpour Interactive have tweeted out that the latest patch is going to improve PC graphics again. I think it's going to be incrementally and eventually, hopefully, you'll get better and better because they realise that a lot of people are upset. And if you look at the latest reviews on Steam, they are mostly negative. Now, the game averaged about 90 players at a time, which isn't terrible, but it's not exactly great. With crossplay, it's going to go up and up and up, so it all depends what you want. What do you want? Do you want better graphics when you're playing, or do you want to actually be able to play against people? It's a trade-off. Hopefully, it's going to work itself out in the end. But, Quest. So obviously, the graphics on the Quest are terrible compared to the PC. At least they were terrible compared to the PC graphics before the crossplay. Now they're a bit worse than the PC graphics now they've got crossplay. Now when I went in and played the game for the first time, my immediate response was the graphics were okay. I don't know if that's me just kind of being fooled by that and the fact that I'd never played the PC version before, but everything seemed okay. But then I've seen a few reviews recently and a lot of them just say the graphics are just plain bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at two other games on the Quest that are similar. They are Pavlov Shack and Contractors, both available via sideload, so they're not official releases, but then Onward isn't exactly finished either. So we're going to compare the three graphically and see how they stack up. And then we'll hopefully find out if Onward actually could have done better when we compare it to the other two. After that, we're going to take a time-traveling FPS trip, and I'm going to go forwards in time. Let's start from, say, Wolfenstein, and then we're going to find out roughly if Onward Quest was released on PC, which year would the graphics be cutting edge? So we're going to find out that after we've compared with the other two. I have already done a first impressions gameplay video with Onward on the Quest, and I've also done a comparison with Pavlov PC against Pavlov Shack. So if you want to see those two videos, I'll leave links down below and one of them at the end of the video as well. Remember, if you love VR, hit that subscribe button and hit the bell and have fruity VR goodness delivered to your doorstep. If that is, you kept your phone outside your house in front of your door. Right, in we go. So let's just have a look at some full screen footage of them all. You can see for yourself how they look before I start throwing in my opinion. I've tried to choose similar looking levels, and I think it's fair to say that Onward is actually the better looking game when you aren't paying too much attention to the finer graphical details. At a distance, the buildings look more realistic. There seems to be a greater variety of building styles, and you can enter more of the buildings too. However, I didn't notice any popping textures in the other two games, but they do seem to occur quite often in Onward. The floor quality of Onward and Contractors is about equal, but Pavlov seems to have built the floor using blocks from Minecraft. So let's get a closer look at those textures. Something that both Pavlov and Contractors suffer from are polygons that either have minimal or, in the case of Pavlov, zero textures. Just check out those bricks in Pavlov. It's fair to say that the Enderman's been at work here. Whilst the texture quality of Onward isn't exactly high resolution, and they do blur a lot when you get up close, at least they're always there, apart from when they disappear for a short while. If you check out the wall we're about to see in Onward, you can see that from a distance it's actually quite convincing, but when you get up close, not so much. Ah, gun models. Everyone loves a good gun model. Although at first I was very happy with them in Onward, it's only when you compare them to those lovely shiny reflective guns of Contractors that you realise it looks like you're holding your kid's Nerf gun. Pavlov guns are a bit better, and I'd say it's more like holding a plastic BB gun. So what the hell happens to the player models in Onward? They make characters in Minecraft look like something from Crysis 7. When you shoot at them, they lose about half of the 12 polygons they started off with, and they move like Mr. Garrison with a pineapple shoved up his arse.
Jesus Christ.
I know Contractor's guy seems to be a bit broken, but he still looks best on the account of Pavlov characters not knowing how to hold a gun. Not a lot to choose from here. Pavlov cars suffer at a distance, Contractors cars look like some nightmare from Google Earth when you zoom down to street level, and none can make circular tyres. On account of being the best of the bad bunch, it's a win for Onward. And finally, trees. This isn't really a fair test, as I've used 3 different types of trees. None of them are particularly good, but they serve their purpose, and I don't really mind any of them. I'll give this one to Pavlov, but it might just be because I got a pretty angle. So I think it's fair to say that Onward on Quest holds up to its competition pretty well. But if it was a flat game, how would it hold up then? Let's go through the ages to find out. Wolfenstein pretty much started it all off. It's fair to say Onward looks better than that. As it does with Doom from 1993. Classic though. Oh. Duke Nukem 3D. Many hours wasted in this game. But Onward still looks better. Sorry, Duke.
Gotta get some.
Quake, what a classic, one of the first to use full polygon characters, but Onward still just about beats it. 1996 we're up to, it's only 24 years ago. Here we go with Half-Life, one of my favourite games ever, 22 years ago, but Onward still looks better than it. Halo, things start getting a bit harder to tell the difference, but it's just about beating it. Well done, Onward, you beat a 2001 game. And the first Battlefield, many hours sunk into this, and we're looking a bit similar now, to be fair. 2002. It's very similar to the Downfall map from Onward. You can see the resolution of the floor is very low in Battlefield 1942, and there's a lot of jagged edges around buildings. The trees look pretty good, not dissimilar to the ones from Pavlov though. And Half-Life 2, 2004. True, absolute classic. I think this game is looking better than Onward. So we're up to 2004, 16 years ago. So I would say if Onward was released in 2004, it would not be classed as a cutting edge game. So let's say that the year, if Onward was released as a flat game on PC, the year it would look cutting edge is 2003. Now remember, the main point of this whole comparison was to show that yes, the graphics aren't that great compared to what we expect these days. But at the moment, on a Quest, pushing a resolution of 1440 by 1600 times 2, this is about as good as we're going to get. Yes, you could get better characters or gun models, but sacrifices will have to be made in other areas, as Contractors and Pavlov have shown. Do bear in mind, although people like to compare Onward on Quest to PS1 graphics, the resolution of the PS1 was never more than an interlaced 640 by 480, and even that is overstating things a lot. So there we have it. I'm talking in the outro again, not really knowing what the results were, but there we have it anyway. What do you think about Onward's graphics? Do you think they're terrible? Leave your views in the comments. Or maybe you're a PC Onward player and you're a bit annoyed about the graphical downgrade. What do you think about all this? Would you rather have not crossplay or somehow have the option? To me, it looks like all the graphical things don't really benefit the PC player. It's just things like trees and smoke that actually are going to get in your way. Would you put up with that for crossplay when you've still got the ability, because it's a PC, to turn the graphics down anyway? So if you found that video informative and you want to help a VR lover out, you know what to do. I've been Witch, you've been watching the VR Cauldron. Take care of yourselves, and I hope to see you next time. See ya! Am I under your protection spell?